Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, September 5th. On the impact map today, first off, near record heat in this area of reddish purple through most of the area today. Spreading or continuing into Sunday, being pushed southwards by a strong cold front, which we go back to today, will have gusty winds of about 25 to 35 miles per hour across a good portion of the central mountains of Idaho, combined with low humidity. This first front pushes further south on Sunday with those strong winds in the far southern part of the Snake River Plain, southern Wyoming, and into northern parts of Utah. Second front pushes through on Monday with two things: some colder temperatures, precipitation, some showers, and even some snow in the highest peaks across parts of eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. But ahead of that, second front, extremely strong winds, up to 45 miles per hour or greater. We see the areas in the brown covering much of Nevada, Utah, far southern Idaho, with very dry fuel. So those are our concerns at the moment. Next 3 days. To the smoke forecast, near the surface, you can see that smoke in western Nevada, and of course concentrating California and still lingering in parts of Idaho. And by this afternoon becomes more concentrated as we build under high pressure and get more burning activity across some of our fires that are currently ongoing in both the mountains of Idaho and of course the Sling Fire and some other ones in the western portion of Nevada. 6,000-foot smoke, same issue on the left this morning's smoke, and by this afternoon you see the activity picking up, more smoke overspreading much of Idaho, as well as being transported to upper elevations across western Nevada, but pretty clear elsewhere. We had no precipitation, no lightning. Getting out of our lightning season pretty much. Initial attack was pretty light today with new fire starts in the red, existing fires in the yellow. Over the past 7 days, we've been pretty dry in most areas. Just some light precipitation in eastern areas of Idaho and southeastern Utah. Otherwise, no significant issues. You can see our ERCs are drying out. Driest areas in central Utah near the 97th percentile, but near the 90th percentile in southern Utah, much of eastern Nevada. Seeing some drying in northwest Nevada, and of course in the mountains of Idaho, lots of 80s and 90 percentiles, as well as over parts of the southern portion of western Wyoming. So we're definitely drying out. In the finer 10-hour fuels, you definitely see that dryness everywhere in that red, 3 to 4% on the 10-hour fuels, even 1 to 2% in our driest southern areas. Live fuel moistures in the sagebrush also very dry from southern Wyoming. You can see them dropping down below 100, around 80, which does correlate to extreme fire behavior. And you can see similar readings near Winnemucca, and of course our driest areas in central Utah, very dry as sagebrush can get, near 50%. So definitely the live fuel moisture playing a big role. Weather now on the satellite dominated by high pressure. You see no clouds at all except for north of us into parts of Wyoming. You can see the stronger belt of fronts and clouds in the Gulf of Alaska, which will be sagging southwards. No clouds for us. When we go to the water vapor, you can actually see the dryness of the atmosphere in these copper and darker brownish shades across our region, and that correlates with the map on the left here with high pressure firmly in control, very dry air mass. The tightening, this tighter belt of heights here indicates increasing winds across parts of eastern Idaho. We'll have a concern for that. You can see those winds here on the map here on the left in the orange and purple, gusts of 30, maybe 35. They'll be combined with humidity in the low teens, otherwise very dry in single digits elsewhere under that high pressure, which is also producing near record or above record heat. And you can see those temperatures here: 101 near Wendover, 101 in Reno, 100 in Boise, even 90 up in McCall, 97 in Salt Lake City. So definitely hot to go around. And then as this belt of winds, but still dry air, is in place here, we have high risk for wind across a smaller portion of Idaho and the Uinta Wasatch Cache of Utah. You can see those winds here coming out of the northwest being orographically enhanced as we go through the day on Sunday, probably even affecting parts of the Uinta Basin. You can see those very dry humidity levels again, 8 to 10% up in Idaho, and just as dry everywhere else. A very dry day. Our fuels will rapidly dry, and that sets the stage for Monday. The second front has a lot of things going on. It's got some wintertime precipitation, rain, and even some mountain snow under this area of Green in Montana, which is just going to skirt us, probably hitting western Wyoming more than anybody else, maybe extreme eastern Idaho, and maybe parts of the Uinta Wasatch Cache eventually. Much cooler air, but the winds, look at the tight packing these height lines. Combined with the thermal heating, we have a high risk for wind over a large portion of our area, except for areas in the north that are getting moistened up. And you can see those winds here on the left, the shades of purple indicating gusts of 45 to almost 50 miles per hour, and that drags all the way further south. You see those humidity levels, especially south of the Idaho border, 10% or lower in most areas, but they start coming up quite a bit. You notice up in northeastern Idaho, 44%, 51% up by Yellowstone, so definitely more moist in our northern areas, but dry and wind to the south. 3-day precipitation totals, you see that precipitation coming in and just right on the Idaho and Wyoming border east of there is where the significant stuff is, just scattered light precip, if anything, west of the divide. On Tuesday, that front drops southwards. Lots of colder air coming in, the coldest temperatures so far this summer across a good portion of the Great Basin, and that will temporarily bring up humidity levels at the surface, but the overall atmosphere is still dry with those winds, so we'll have to watch those winds in our southern areas where fuels are dry for continued high risk. But then on Wednesday, high pressure starts to build back in. That little low is now just a memory. And as we go towards Thursday and Friday, we're back into the heat and dryness once again. And notice our PSA is drying out quite a bit, except for Wyoming, which would have had about a quarter to a half inch of precipitation and some mountain snow. So they'll be the last to dry out. So definitely the edge taken off of our far eastern areas. Everyone else, though, still in midsummer conditions. Again, this is the total precipitation that we expect. Again, very little west of the divide, except a little bit bleeding into the Uinta Wasatch Cache, maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch of precip. Some of that will be snow above 8,000 feet. Otherwise, just dry elsewhere. And the 8 to 14 day, September 12th to the 18th, above normal temperatures. The warmth continues here across the Great Basin, especially across Nevada, drier than normal conditions as well. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.